And I don't think I did a very good job that night of thanking Coach Miles for what he did for me. But Coach Miles, I want you to know I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you believing in me, for overlooking my stupid mistakes. I love you, and I just want you to know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So congratulations on this day. You deserve it.
Thank you. I'm glad to know that I'm the youngest baseball player up here that played for Coach Miles. No offense. I actually wrote my speech down too. First of all, I'm extremely honored to participate in this celebration and dedication today. I could talk about so many Coach Miles stories, but I promised Coach Carson that I'd try to keep it short today. A man among men is probably a phrase that's synonymous with Coach Miles. And when you think about that phrase, imagine 12 to 15 new faces every single year showing up on campus for the first time. Imagine every single one of those faces being set free from the confines of their home. Yeah, tough. Imagine the freedom that those kids had. Michael. Goose. Now imagine the responsibility that one has to accept for every single one of those kids every single year. Managing class schedules, faculty complaints, budgets, grades, girlfriends, and oh yeah, a baseball team. As many of us can attest, Coach always made a habit of calling us men, and in several different tones, I might add. There was the high pitch and the low pitch that he was synonymous for as well. We were kids, not men, who became men because of his leadership and dedication to us. Coach gave us a lot to this gave a lot to this program in many forms other than just being a coach. He was so instrumental in the foundation for which this program exists today. He sacrificed time with his family and friends to mold young athletes to not only become better players, but better people. I think that his true success was not measured in wins and losses, but measured by the success of the people that he touched. Fortunately and most graciously, I was one of those. Another lost soul in the space of freedom. I was knocked down many times my freshman year, like so many others before me, thinking that the baseball dream was over, not knowing what I was going to do with my education. He picked me up, he dusted me off, and put me back on the right track of success. I can't thank him enough for that. I'm most grateful for what he gave me as a player, a teacher, a teammate, a coach, and most importantly, as a friend. Excuse me. And as he gave to me, the school, his players, his students, and the community, we should give back to him. A man among men, well, that man will be forever honored at these gates and on that field where kids became men and will continue to become men. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I know Coach Miles enjoyed that, and I'm so thankful. I know there's so many of you that are standing here today that could stand and say the same things. And Jack, I remember the Heinz Hilton. When I was a freshman here, Coach Miles handed us an itinerary. We were leaving for spring break, and on that it said we were going to stay at the Heinz Hilton. Until we got to Jackson, I literally thought we're staying at the Hilton. I thought this is going to be nice. I'm old boy from Independence, and I thought this is going to be great. We get to the barracks over there where Jack was talking about, and this is the only story I'll share because I've got a bigot of them. And we played the game, and I can't remember win or loss. But I remember that night we were in there, and Mr. Ebb Downs was the bus driver. You guys that played, you remember Mr. Ebb. And we all tried to lights out and go to sleep. And I'm telling you, Coach Miles and Ebb Downs had a snoring contest that lasted. And at one point, I can remember laying there just thinking, this is going to be all night. And at one point, I looked up, and Coach Castle got off of his little barracks with his pillow, and he just walked by me, and he said, I can't take it, Carson, I can't take it. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he slept. But those are some great memories that I had with Coach Miles and Coach Castle, and just a lot of fun. And like I said, it's an honor for us to try to carry on what they created here, and I take it very serious. And every day, you know, it's almost like Jack and Mike, and they said you don't want to disappoint them. And I think to this day, when we walk out here every day, that it's we want to do something that they'd be proud of, and I hope we're able to do that. I want to personally thank Sue. If you look around today and you see the park and you see how pretty it is, and all the work that goes on. Coach Selby and Coach Walker are sitting here behind me. I tell you what, they put in a lot of hours at this place, and they're both so prideful. Yeah, I'd like to recognize them. They do a phenomenal job. The physical plant guys did a phenomenal job with the entrance here. Like Mike said, it'll always be a reminder to me as I walk through these gates every day, and I hope when you return that it will be for you too, for what Coach Miles did to this school here. On behalf of Northwest, Coach Miles, I would like to, and we're going to leave it up for just a moment for everybody to see, and then we'll get it after the day, but we thought it was fitting that we stick number 25 in a frame, and you can't see it from where you are, but it reads Jim Miles Field, dedication ceremony, October 5th, 2013, Northwest Mississippi Community Half. We officially want to hand you your jersey. I know there's a lot of sweat in there, and the guy said when he put it in there, he thought he could smell a little sweat from the old days, but hey, it's in there now, and it'll always hopefully hang on a wall there at the house and be passed on for generations to come. So congratulations on that. And there's two presentations I would like to make now before Mr. Kirkendall comes. And one of them is a plaque, and I'm going to show it to you from where you are. We took the picture of Coach Miles and put it on the plaque for him there with all of his accomplishments. And I want you to read this. And I've always admired his accomplishments, but until I became a head coach, I had no idea how astonishing they were. And it reads Jim Miles, head coach, 1976 to 1997. Overall record, 556 to 304 with 3 ties. MACJC Coach of the Year, 1976, 77, 82, 83, 84, 86. MACJC State Champions, 76, 77, 82, 83, 84, 86. NJCAA Region 23 Champions, 77, 84, 88, 96, and 97. And the NJCAA World Series, 1996 and 1997. Coach Miles, I'm going to ask you to come forward. Now I know Coach Miles wants to share a few words himself.
Whew. That's going to be hard to follow right there, I'm telling you. I don't know if I can get through this or not. I would like to, first of all, thank all of my family and all of my friends that came out today. And especially Marguerite. She's had my back for 42 years, and she's always been there. And you know, it's not easy to be a coach's wife sometimes. But Marguerite, thank you, and I love you. I want to thank Dr. Spears and his administration, along with Mr. Johnny Bland, Mr. Kirkendall, Mr. Mike Moore, and all of the Board of Trustees for making this day possible. I also want to thank Mr. Niles Norris, Coach Mark Carson, Coach Bill Selby, Coach Walker, for all of their hard work and what they've done to bring this day forward. I want to recognize a guy today that I probably spent every day of 30 years with Coach Castle, Coach Donnie Castle. And whether we were hauling dirt to build that infield up, or whether we were pulling weeds with our bare hands, or whether we were putting up each one of these boards individually, one at a time, or whether we were coaching on the sidelines, I can't recall, and he indicated this morning, I can't recall one day that we ever had a cross word. So Donnie, I appreciate you, boy. Thank you for your friendship. You know, I first stepped on this campus the fall of 1961. That's 52 years ago. I was a young 17-year-old youngster that had no clue what a college education was. All I wanted to do was play ball. But Northwest took me by my hand and gave me to experience the first part of my college education. And I appreciate that. Northwest was good to me. But I wasn't the only one that benefited from Northwest. Our three children, Becky, Billy, and Jim Kelly, all attended here. They've got two of their spouses that came through here. Even had a grandson that attended here. Brenda, my sister, and Bobby, her husband, their two children, all of them came through Northwest. So you can see what Northwest has meant to us. A lot of you remember my mother and dad. They loved Northwest, never had a chance to attend Northwest. But they probably saw more sporting events on this campus than any two people in the whole state of Mississippi. I remember when we hosted the women's national basketball tournament there 2 years in a row. I don't know how many games it was in those two tournaments, but my mom and dad saw every tip-off of every game for both of those tournaments. Now that's saying something. But you know, Northwest, you can see, has meant an awful lot to the Miles family over the years. 5 decades, you might say. And now to have the name of Jim Miles become a permanent part of Northwest is very honoring to me. So with that having been said, all I can say now is Northwest Mississippi Community College, I thank you.
Coach, I'm going to hand you that for a moment to hold on to and let you look at that. Also, I'm going to ask, before Mr. Kirkendall comes up to actually name the field, I'm going to ask Cameron Blunt. Cameron is also a former player of Coach Miles, and he's now a phenomenal job with our athletic department. I'm going to ask him on behalf of Northwest if he will accept this. It is a replica of what Coach Miles will take home with him today, so that we're going to have that in our trophy case for years to come. So as more and more players come through here, when they see that name, they know who Jim Miles was. And so Cameron, on behalf of Northwest, wants to present that to the school. Mr. Kirkendall, would you come and...
It's my honor on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Northwest Mississippi Community College, the best community college in the state of Mississippi, to dedicate this field, the Jim Miles baseball fields, to a very deserving Jim Miles. Coach Miles, it's our honor. Now we will unwrap the dedication. Coach Miles.